Guys, thanks so much, and we're counting you down to tip-off doubleheader here on ACC Network. Great rivalry matchup coming your way between North Carolina and NC State. Deja Kelly, she's good all the time, but on the road, been scoring 19 points per game in road games. It's second best in the ACC. Last time out in a road game, she scored 32, but Jada Boyd and NC State looking to get back on track, trying to slow down the number 19 Tar Heels. That game coming your way from Reynolds in just about 9.5 minutes here on ACC Network as we say hello from the studio alongside the Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw, Kelly Gramlich, Lexi Brown, and Kelsey Riggs. Great to be with you. Meanwhile, rivalry matchup coming your way between NC State and North Carolina right here on ACC Network. Looking forward to this one. Kennedy Todd Williams always doing what she can for the Tar Heels. This will be a great game. Kelly, what's it going to be key for North Carolina in this game when depth is an issue? You just said no Alyssa Usby.
Alyssa Usby is still out, and Eva Hodgson is still out for North Carolina, but Anya pulls back. That's big. They needed her size back inside to go up against River Baldwin and Camille Hobby. I think the guards are the key, though, for North Carolina. Kayla McPherson, who got her first start, and I believe is starting again tonight, and Deja Kelly. Can NC State slow them down? It's really tough to do.
It really is. And NC State, they've been just so up and down. You just don't know which team is going to show up today. Diamond Johnson has to have a big game.
What would you be saying if you were Wes Moore to this team right now? When you know how capable they are, this is the first time that they've been out of the top 25 since 2018.
It's really difficult when you look at Jakia Brown-Turner and Jada Boyd. They've had such inconsistent years. You want to be positive. You want to build their confidence. But at the same time, you just want them to make a shot and get some confidence for themselves.
And Lexi, for the women in that locker room that you know have accomplished so much in the past for NC State, struggling a little bit this season, what do you need to see or what do you need to say in the locker room before that to get these guys going?
I remember a few weeks ago we were talking about that when I forgot what game it was, but we were talking about how happy they looked on the court. It was the weight game. I think they need to bring that energy back. At the end of the day, it comes down to enjoying playing basketball, enjoying being around your teammates, celebrating each other, and I think they need to get back to that, which is the most basic thing, I think, in the basketball game.
Well, you know, they're going to be playing for the fans today because of those remarks that Courtney Bangart made about their classless fans. So maybe they'll come out and win one for the fans.
I'm sure it goes back to what happened. That was in August, but fans never forget.
And Jay's coach didn't mention it.
I was going to say,
20 times
but the one thing fans will forget is that, yes, she said it. She apologized the next day. They don't care. They're going to have signs. They're going to be ready. That's bulletin board material. And Kelly, as if they needed enough of a reason to get up for this one, that definitely does the trick.
Well, and let's keep in mind, I keep bringing this up because I think it's important. North Carolina, when they went to NC State last year, they got blown out of the gym. And it was after some other comments. So this is huge for North Carolina. Can you prove it to us that you can go to NC State when right now I think you're the better team? Everyone agrees, even though you don't have Usby, who had 18 rebounds the last time these two played, by the way. Can you go to that hostile environment, maybe take some of the booze, coach? I don't know. And can you win this game on the road? I think this is a really big test for North Carolina.
It's interesting for North Carolina, too. 4 losses against unranked opponents when they are in the top 25. So are they overlooking some people? Sometimes. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that will happen
in this matchup tonight. Nobody's overlooking anyone. They know how good this NC State team is, and we've seen what North Carolina is capable of this season. So looking forward to a great run at Reynolds, and we will see you back here at the half. So enjoy the first half. We're going to send it now out to Pam Ward and Stephanie White. Guys, take it away.
ACC women's basketball coming your way tonight from a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum. Fans packing in to see number 19 North Carolina take on Diamond Johnson and the Wolfpack, who lost to Deja Kelly and the Heels last month in Chapel Hill. We welcome you to ACC Network Basketball presented by Ally. What a great atmosphere. Let's take a look at the ACC standings. Duke in first place, but down 19 to Virginia Tech at the half. They are playing as we speak. Florida State just had a win, trying to get into the top 4. North Carolina and NC State, there you see everybody getting in position for the very fast approaching ACC tournament. And we welcome you to Reynolds Coliseum. Pam Ward along with former Wade Trophy winner at Purdue, Stephanie White. And you can feel it in the air. You certainly can hear the stands. This is a great rivalry, the 117th time they've played.
And Pam, the great thing about a rivalry match
matchup is. It doesn't matter what the records are. Stats are thrown out the window. It's who steps up and rises to the challenge. Now, North Carolina's still down a couple of starters, but they still have Toddy. Yeah, Kennedy Todd Williams is one of the most exciting players in the ACC. She's worked on her three-point shot. She is much more consistent. She can get to the rim at will. She's a terrific rebounder and really does the job on the defensive end of the floor as well. The Tar Heels are going to need a big game from Kennedy Todd Williams. And for the Wolfpack, Sanaya Rivers, she has been exciting on both ends of the floor, has been the primary ball handler when she's been in the starting lineup with Diamond Johnson, but where she can change the game is on the defensive end of the floor. She's going to have the matchup with Deja Kelly to start the game. She is a player who Wes Moore is leaning heavily on to take it to another level. And you talked about Diamond Johnson playing on a right ankle that really has bothered her all year, but 7 points away from 1,000 in her career. Was a sixth player of the year in the ACC last year, now thrust into a starting lineup. This is an NC State team that has lost 3 of its last 4 games. Courtney Banghart, the coach for North Carolina, said it doesn't matter if NC State is struggling. This is a huge rivalry game. Right off the bat, Jada Boyd couldn't get it to fall. And here comes North Carolina. Kayla McPherson, number 14, there she is, starting for the second straight time. Was electric in a 22-point effort against BC. All she did was set a new career high, right, in her first start. Just her 5th game of the year, had been hurt for a couple of years. The NC State starting lineup, used to seeing this. Rivers making her 8th start of the season. Jakia Brown-Turner, the only, pardon me, Jada Boyd were the only players back who had significant playing time last year, along with Camille Hobby. Brown-Turner, the only returning starter. Only returning starter. This is a group that lost over 50% of their scoring and rebounding, and you can see for Carolina, they've had some injuries to hit them. But Kayla McPherson, you mentioned her, one of the more exciting players in the ACC, but there's Toddy going to work. And you just talked about her in the open. Kennedy Todd Williams had 15 points in the come-from-behind win last month in Chapel Hill against State. 8 of those points coming in the 4th quarter. Brown-Turner can't get it to fall, and here comes Todd Williams. Deja Kelly, the leading scorer on this team. There's McPherson. You think, that was pretty good defense, right? That wasn't a clear look, and she still buried it. Yeah, she's a player who, this is her first rivalry matchup. It's going to love these moments. I mean, high energy, high excitement level, and just rises to the challenge. Both of her parents played basketball at Western Kentucky University. Gives them a lot of credit for helping shape her game. Johnson misses everything. Here's Deja Kelly. 5th in the conference in scoring this year. Challenging Johnson. Good help defense by Boyd. You can see Diamond Johnson grimacing a little bit off of that ankle. She didn't quite have the lift that we're used to seeing her have on that shot, still being hampered by that injury. And at times you can see her favor that shot clock dying for Kelly. Puts it up and in. Deja Kelly is just so dangerous in that mid-range. She can get the shot off. She can elevate over defenders. She's been a part of these matchups for a few years. She knows what it's about. He does. A junior out of San Antonio, leading the team in scoring, assists, minutes played, gets to the line a lot. That's a nice look inside to Hobby. Boy, NC State right now can't buy one. NC State has really struggled to put the ball in the hole, and you notice that certainly in their games that they have lost this season. But the easy ones, those are the ones you need to see go through the bottom of the net to build some confidence. They're 0 for 5 so far in this game. Make it 1 for 6 as Rivers, the South Carolina transfer, sliced her way into the basket. I'd like to see Sanaya Rivers do more of that. She is so good with the ball in her hands. She can get around defenders. She can elevate. I think she could take a little bit more ownership offensively. Right now averaging about 8.5 points per game, and that's a charge. Todd Williams out of control as she went into the lane.
Well, Jada Boyd is just so good at this. She gets in position. She stands her ground. She understands what's coming. And speaking of Jada Boyd, coming off a season-high 22 against Virginia, we've seen bits and pieces, but the last true team offensive effort I think we've seen from NC State was at Iowa. They really need everybody to get on all cylinders at one time.
Yeah, that was a huge win back in Iowa City. We were able to call that game. Westmore's team won 94-81 in a thrilling atmosphere. And we had a chance to talk to Wes, and this is, let's face it, honestly, this has been really hard on him this season.
Yeah, it has. And, I appreciate his honesty and really just communicating, how tough it has been as Deja Kelly gets two again. They're used to having a really veteran team full of great leaders, everyone understanding their role, everyone being consistent in terms of how they play and coming to play. And this has just been a different year as Jakia Brown-Turner knocks down a three.
That is the first three for Brown-Turner in her last 4 games. The last 3 games, she was 0 for 6 combined. And they lose 4 starters that you mentioned, NC State, but 4 impactful people, not just as scorers, but as leaders. Inside, Anya Poole gets her first basket, did not play in their last game. Took a hard fall on her shoulder against Syracuse, so sat out their big win against Boston College. Brown-Turner showing some aggression.
Pam, the last time these two teams met, they both struggled for 3 quarters to put the ball in the hole. We're not seeing that early today.
North Carolina was shooting in the 20s percentage-wise until the 4th quarter when they were able to come from behind to win. McPherson over Johnson. They're going to let her know she missed it all. Courtney Banghart, in her 4th year, was the National Coach of the Year in 2015 when she was back at Princeton. Was there for a dozen years. Took them to 8 NCAA tournaments. Hobby, who had been backing up Elisa Cunane her entire career until this year.
Well, early in this ball game, really good execution by NC State. They're doing a good job of getting the ball in spots that they want and knocking down shots.
They've hit their last 3 shots from the floor to make it close. And here's a steal. Diamond Johnson, 3 on 2. Now they're going to reset.
And they missed a wide open Diamond Johnson.
Boyd took steps, but NC State, with its first turnover, 1-point ball game early on in Raleigh. Welcome back, North Carolina and NC State. Both of them ranked in the Associated Press, as you see. Carolina Blue going on an uptick, and for the first time in 5 years, in the latest AP poll, the Wolfpack are not ranked at all. This was a team that had high expectations, even though they lost so much from last year. They were picked 3rd in the ACC behind Louisville and Virginia Tech. But Steph White, when you lose these 4, come on.
Yeah, not just in terms of their production, but what they meant from a leadership standpoint, from a consistency standpoint. They played together for a long time, and that matters. And, the other piece of this is every one of the players that were on the floor were great 3-point shooters. The lowest being Reina Perez at 39%. And that's what this NC State team is missing. They have a really hard time at times putting the ball in the hole.
Shot clock again. An issue for North Carolina. Todd Williams puts it up. Rebound taken down by Rivers. Back to their loss at Virginia on Sunday. They shot, as a team, 29%. 4 of 28 from 3, to your point. That's 14%. They lost.
Well, in the win at Wake Forest was the first time in Westmore's tenure here at NC State that they didn't make a 3-point shot the entire ball game. And we asked him about that, and he said, you know what, I'm not even sure my UT Chattanooga team went without making a 3-point field goal in a ball game.
They were 0 for 10 against Wake. Didn't win that game, as you said, 0 for 10 from 3. And how about this? Just 2 assists on 19 field goals. Foul on Brand Turner, senior out of Oxon Hill, Maryland.
And we talked a little bit about the lack of leadership too, and missing that. And sometimes when you've had a collective group that's been together for so long and they all graduate, everybody else is trying to figure out who that leader is. Who is it going to be? And no one has taken the reins of it yet.
Destiny Adams called for the travel third turnover. So get a look at Kayla McPherson. North Carolina is still down a couple of starters, key starters, Alyssa Usby and Eva Hodgson. Hodgson, the three-point threat. All Usby did in the first game, did 18 rebounds.
That's it. I mean, you got to find a way to get 18 more rebounds.
Diamond Johnson, Hobby corrals it. Working hard, got it stripped away by Deja Kelly. All the fans in red wanted a foul call. Step through.
What a move by Kennedy Todd Williams. I mean, so patient, under control, good body control, strong finish.
Carolina, pardon me, had gone over 3 minutes without a point before that shot.
And you mentioned Usby and Hodgson, and that's 23 points a game. And both of those players have been out for a while, so it's given young players an opportunity to step up and this team to learn how to win without them.
Hodgson missing her 7th straight game with an upper body injury. Usby, her 4th straight game with a lower body injury, but this is nice.
Oh, so nice. I mean, just getting in there, shot fake, stays on balance, uses a pivot, gets around a defender.
She is the only one this year who has started every game for North Carolina. Last year, there's a look at Usby. Last year, North Carolina had the same starting lineup for every single game. A big different story this year. That's what you reference. That's what they're missing.
And you think about this junior class and that really has grown up together in this system with Courtney Banghart and now having to learn how to play with some different pieces. But you know what, when you get this opportunity to play through adversity, it really prepares you for postseason.
Isaiah James coming into the ball game and getting a point or two. And NC State gets back to within one. NC State, according to Charlie Cream, will be a 7 seed and make the tournament. Underneath, that's going to be a foul on River Baldwin, the Florida State transfer. He's coming off the bench this year for the Wolfpack. And that puts Tiani Key on the line. Started against BC in their last game for Poole. Thursday night women's basketball doubleheader coming your way. That's a week from tonight. Haley Cavender leads Miami against Haley Van Wyck in Louisville. Then it's Duke and NC State on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And right now Duke is down 43-24 at Virginia Tech. And NC State takes the lead.
Tim, I like it when it's an aggressive Jakia Brown-Turner on the floor. Started knocking down a three-point shot, has gotten to the rim a couple of times as well.
James. Six-0 run snapped with Deja Kelly's shot.
And that pass by Sanaya Rivers to hit Isaiah James in stride was outstanding. When you have somebody who can go get the defensive board like that, kick it up the floor, I mean, she's a difference maker.
Really has been since coming in, especially into the starting lineup. Diamond Johnson off the floor now, taking a rest. Here's Rivers. Hit on the hand by Paulina Paris.
I mean, this is just an outstanding pass. Right on the money. Isaiah James is able to catch it in stride and get an easy two.
Sanaya Rivers was the National High School Player of the Year coming out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Did not get a lot of playing time at South Carolina. Championship there last year, and remember Dawn Staley said needed to improve her defense to get more playing time, and there's so many people on that South Carolina roster, so deep and so talented, and Rivers transferring back to her home state and taking advantage of it.
Well, she sure is, and we saw her get a career-high 22 at Iowa, and really her breakout game from an offensive standpoint. But I like what Westmore's done with her, letting her run the point, moving Diamond Johnson off the ball.
Shot clock is off now for Deja Kelly. Dribbles around a double team. Todd Williams left it short after a fast start for North Carolina. NC State closing on a nice run. They hit their last 3 shots to take a 1-point lead after 1. ACC Network Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. That's Aubrey Latta, some of the great faces. Charlotte Smith hit that 3-point shot to win the national championship. And you know her well.
Chastity Melvin, yes. Coach Chastity Melvin when I was with the Chicago Sky. I think she's in the house today. I saw her running around. A lot of great players were shown right there. Tracy Reed was a teammate of mine with the Charlotte Steam. Great player for Carolina.
One of the great rivalries, no matter what sport these two universities play. Pam Ward and Steph White joining you from sold-out Reynolds Coliseum. North Carolina throws the ball away to start things off. Carolina trying to sweep the 2 games during the regular season. That is the 5th turnover for Courtney Banghart's team. They met back on January 15th. NC State had won 3 in a row in the series until Carolina had a big 4th quarter to win last month. Zia James, her 3rd basket off the bench.
Well, Zia James has the ability to come in and be a big spark for this Wolfpack team. So good in that mid-range, she can elevate.
North Carolina's taken a lot of outside shots. They have hit none of them in the first half. Both teams were combined 1 for 11 from 3. And right now, Carolina 0 for 6. Sanaya Rivers guarded by Paris, the only newcomer on this North Carolina club. They, unlike NC State, brought everybody back. Deja Kelly being hounded by Madison Hayes.
And you have to find a way to get in front of Deja Kelly when she's in transition. She's dangerous when she can get downhill.
She's had 8 20-point games this year alone for North Carolina. Leaves Zelaya open out there.
And Westmore was not happy with his team in terms of defensive scout against Virginia. That right there is a really good defensive possession. Get the ball out of Deja Kelly's hands, force someone else to take the shot. They will live with Zelaya taking those 3-point shots all night long.
Yeah, absolutely. Zelaya just 2 of 18 from 3 on the season, hit 1 of them last week. But boy, they are really not just missing, but missing big.
And not really making NC State work on the defensive end of the floor. It's 1 pass and shot.
This is what Coach Moore wanted to shut down North Carolina's transition game, which can be so dangerous. Done a good job of it lately. Paris finally gets the first 3 of the game for the Heels. Hit 3 threes in their big win against Boston College on Sunday off the bench. Good positioning. River Baldwin couldn't get it down. Todd Williams somehow was able to get that shot away, even though Rivers was all over it.
She just does such a good job of using her pivots. She's on balance. She doesn't get rushed. she works that pivot until she finds an outlet.
Well, we hear people in the building yelling for a travel call, but she's keeping that foot down. Mimi Collins, the well-traveled. NC State, her third school, started off at Tennessee, then a couple years in beautiful College Park, Maryland. There's one more year of eligibility left. Todd Williams goes around the screen. Baldwin, with nothing but white jerseys underneath, gets the rebound. Collins, good recovery. Bottled up, and now Rivers will reset. Deja Kelly. Working the baseline, River Baldwin, well positioned, draws the charge.
Every white jersey is aware of where Deja Kelly is. She is seeing multiple defenders every possession. And River Baldwin gets there, establishes herself, sacrifices her body, and gets that charge.
Wes Moore at shoot around this afternoon said that was one of the keys, was not letting Deja Kelly do Deja Kelly things, and so far they've done it. Now she's got 6 points and 6 rebounds, but that was a very good defensive stop. Whistle, no shot. Moving screen. Called on Jada Boyd, her first. Diamond Johnson back in the game. Haven't seen her for quite a spell. Diamond 0 for 5 tonight, no points. Leading scorer on this team at 13 per game. But again, playing on that tender right ankle. Actually went and saw the doctor again today about it. Kelly. Nope, here's Diamond.
And again, attention to detail in that scout. That is really good defense. And Madison Hayes going the other way.
Nice pass, good assist for Johnson. Gets State back up by 2. Kelly left open. Now with Rivers out of the game, Johnson running the show, has it cut out. Rebound scramble, and a timeout awarded to North Carolina right before the tie-up was called.
Diamond Johnson back in the ballgame, initiating the break. What a run and catch and gather by Madison Hayes. Wolfpack doing a great job of getting out in transition. A 10-0 advantage in fast break points, and it's starting because they're executing their game plan on the defensive end. They're forcing tough shots, they're getting defensive boards, and they're able to get easy looks in transition. And when you're a team that has struggled offensively like the Wolfpack has, it's important to get these easy scores, and they've done that here thus far tonight.
And also have kept North Carolina, as you mentioned, from getting a single fast break point. Usually that's a big part of their offense. Neither team shooting the ball well from distance. North Carolina on another scoring drought. They already have one over 3 minutes. This one's 2.5 minutes and counting. Still only down 2. McPherson kicking it over. Adams, there's their second 3 of the evening.
Destiny Adams in their last matchup was 2 for 3 from the three-point line, and those were critical buckets in a momentum-changing time for the Tar Heels. And Courtney Benghart told us she steps up in the biggest environments, and this is a big environment here tonight.
And she feeding off the crowd. Hayes off the back rim, rebound taken down by McPherson, who's listed at 5'8", and she's got some ups.
Did she just steal that from a post player?
I believe she did. That's my rebound. There she is on the offensive side. Her shot has been off tonight. After a career-high 22, she was brilliant against Boston College. Adams brings it down, looks for a ball handler, and Deja Kelly can't handle the ball.
Yeah, that was a tough catch for Deja Kelly. It was a little bit behind her. We're talking about McPherson, and her shot's been just a little bit short here tonight. And you think about this, 808 days between games for her. Has played in 5 games this season, her 6th game, and still continuing to work back into what it means to play game shape in a season. So sometimes fatigue setting in, sometimes the moment setting in, but I believe she's going to figure it out.
Yeah, she's a tremendously talented basketball player. Brown Turner, who's been quiet for a little bit, going to have an opportunity to shoot free throws after the drive. Deja Kelly has just picked up her 2nd personal foul and sends Brown Turner to the free throw line. ACC Unity Week tips off Saturday on the ACC Basketball Network. This is a men's doubleheader. You have Pitt at Virginia Tech, and then right after that, follow that with Clemson and Louisville. Stretch run. Time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. We get ready for the ACC tournaments coming up. In this game, we just had our 5th lead change after Brown Turner delivered at the free throw line. On your pool back in the game. Number 31 for North Carolina. Shot clock winding down. Seen a lot of shot clocks going very deep for North Carolina thanks to the NC State defense. Not until they thought about it. Hobby, terrific pass and a better move to get the shot off.
I mean, you're absolutely right. That was a great move by Camille Hobby. Patient, going to the other side for the finish.
That's the lead up 2-3.
The defense on Deja Kelly has been outstanding. The challenge for the Wolfpack, can they maintain this defensive effort and execution? I mean, this was just a heck of a pass and splitting the defenders. Camille Hobby going to the other side for the finish.
On the other end, Brown Turner has been called for her 2nd foul. Camille Hobby is studying perseverance and patience, backing up Elisa Cunane and gave him a nice changeup coming off the bench, and now in the starting lineup. Working on her master's degree, loving college experience. Great student athlete. A little back off of Deja Kelly. That's all she needed.
Yep, and that's a breakdown right there. It's a breakdown. Madison Hayes did not continue over the top of the screen, and Deja Kelly does not need much space.
Inside 2 minutes to go. Outside Diamond Johnson, defended by McPherson. Has to come up with a plan B. Trying to get it inside, McPherson knocking it down, and then she herself is knocked down at midcourt.
Deja Kelly coming off of the on-ball screen, and Madison Hayes didn't go over to the top. They've been sending 2. They've been going over the top of those screens, and when you have a breakdown, Deja Kelly makes you pay.
And you see Deja Kelly, when she gets away from Carmichael, her numbers are even more impressive. Had a career-high 32 on the road at Syracuse this year. There you see 8 and 6 so far for her. Opportunity for Carolina to take the lead. Harris, the freshman, all the way to the cup.
And we talked about the injuries to Alyssa Usby and Eva Hodgson. And what this does is it allows Courtney Banghart to build her depth. Paulina Paris getting more minutes than maybe she would have before. Tayani Key as well. Diamond Johnson gets 2.
Her first basket of the game. She had missed her first 7 shots. Inside a minute, what has been a very entertaining and close first quarter, what you would expect. Rivers with the look off, and then was fouled on her way to the basket. Kayla McPherson called for her first foul. And it sends Rivers to the free throw line. Missed her first 2 on her first trip. Coming up Saturday, the #1 women's lacrosse team in the entire country highlights our ACC Network Top 10 matchup. That would be North Carolina taking on #7 Florida right here, or not far from here in Chapel Hill. Our coverage begins at noon Eastern time. Rivers gets them both. McPherson. Todd Williams, a reach-in foul. I think they're going to get James. Zaya James whistled for her first. That is the 5th team foul. Kennedy Todd Williams heads to the free throw line. Todd Williams, a junior from Jacksonville, North Carolina, really working on her game, has become a much better three-point shooter. More this year, more made threes in her first 2 years combined. You gotta like that, right? Work on something in the offseason.
Taking advantage of the offseason, developing her game, becoming more of a multi-dimensional threat.
McPherson in the open court on any fast break is terrifying.
She's so fast with the ball, explosive.
And now the shot clock is off for the Pack. Rivers kicks it out. James. Nothing doing. McPherson able to come up with the basketball, and North Carolina takes a 1-point lead into the locker room. Just what you would expect in a rivalry game, nip and tuck the entire way. Kennedy Todd Williams, Kayla McPherson with 6 apiece, 9 for Brown Turner to lead NC State. Pack down 1 at the half. We've had 8 lead changes. Let's go down to the studio. We got Lexi, Kelly Muffet, and Kelsey Riggs.
Well, this is a fun one so far in the first half. Welcome into the ACC Network Halftime Report. Alongside, as she said, the Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw, Kelly Grimlich, Lexi Brown. I'm Kelsey Riggs. Great to be with you. A 1-point game at the break. We knew we were going to get a good one between NC State and North Carolina, and it is the Tar Heels in the lead. Lexi, what have you seen so far in the first half?
I've noticed that both of these teams play pretty similar, so I was wondering to see what team was going to do something different to, make a difference. But I mean, this game is super close. They're not shooting the ball well from the three-point line, which is not completely shocking. But I mean, I think we're in for a battle in the second half.
It's been kind of a grinder of a game, and I think it's what NC State wants. They want it to be an uglier game at home, and we knew this was going to be a battle, even though NC State has struggled. They're going to come out ready to go. Deja Kelly's gotten hers. I think Kennedy Todd Williams has stepped up and made some plays. It's really good to see Jakia Brown-Turner get going. She has emerged in this game, Coach.
Yeah, and they really need her to. And Lex, something different would be to make it 3, right? They're 3 for 24 combined.
Please.
Nobody's making 3. So let's try to score in a different way.
See if they can do it, maybe open things up a little bit more. It is a good game so far in the first half. And as you mentioned, Jakia Brown-Turner, we've been talking about her. She's already got 9 for NC State, so that is a good start for them, although they are down down 1 at the break. As we now see, well, guess what? We're going to get overtime, so we'll have even more for you. But right now, we've got to send you back out to Reynolds after this break. It's North Carolina with the 1-point lead at the break.
Welcome back to ACC Network Basketball, presented by Ally. Every seat at Reynolds Coliseum has been sold, and North Carolina leading NC State only by 1 as we head into what should be a very exciting second half. Pam Ward, along with Stephanie White. NC State has lost 3 of its last 4, but had a pretty good first half.
Yeah, they did. Offensively, multiple players were involved, 7 different players in the scoring column, and Diamond Johnson and Jada Boyd were just 1 for 9. So they can get everyone involved and get those 2 going. That would be big. And I think if you're Westmore, you got to be pretty happy with what they've done so far offensively, but really happy with what they did on the defensive end of the floor. They did a great job of scout defense. The couple of times, though, that they had some breakdowns, Carolina was able to take advantage of it, but NC State in transition was just outstanding. Deja Kelly, they made it difficult for her, but she still found a way to put the ball in the hole, and all she needs is just a little bit of daylight. So if you have a breakdown like on this defensive play right there, she is going to take advantage. She and Kennedy Todd-Williams carried the Tar Heels in the first half.
And there you take a look at the shooting percentages. Fast break points. At one point it was 10-0 NC State. Carolina with a nice run. 8 lead changes, 3 ties. NC State lost at Carmichael last month. Trying to get back into the win column as well for this NC State team that has had a tough season, falling out of the top 25 for the first time in 5 years. Kennedy Todd-Williams getting things going. There's Kayla McPherson. 4 points in the first half, but 2 of 6 from the floor, coming off a career-high 22 against BC. Zelaya left open, and this time she knocks down her first points of the evening.
And that was really good execution. Coming out of halftime, understanding what they wanted to try to get out of the screen, the screener, and Zelaya knocking it down.
Making her second straight start. Hobby, tough shot, wouldn't go down. Carolina still without Alyssa Usby and Eva Hodgson. Offensive rebound, second chance for the Heels. Same result. North Carolina 2 of 13 from 3 in this game. They usually make about 6.5 on average per game. 2 of 14. We see State just 1 of 13 from distance. Shot clock winding down. Good defense. McPherson knocked it away, and that resulted in a desperation shot.
And Jada Boyd was wide open in the corner. Anya Poole was playing so far off of her, and the Wolfpack just a little bit of tunnel vision there as the shot clock started winding down. Couple of possessions in a row, you don't get anything. I think this is a big defensive stand right here for NC State.
This is a 5th turnover for State. McPherson.
You can start to feel it a little bit right now. Carolina's come out with a different kind of energy. NC State, the first few possessions, hasn't responded. It's early in the second half, but it's important right now to get a good possession and a stop.
Diamond Johnson. Turner needs to get something going. Jada Boyd attacks the basket. Boyd in the first half only took 1 shot and did not score, coming off a season-high 22 at Virginia. Jada Boyd, senior from Petersburg, Virginia, who almost didn't come back to play this season. Went away for both summer sessions, and at the last minute told Coach Moore she wanted to come back. She has done that, and she said, look, Coach, I made a mistake. I want to come back and play. And he was very understanding about it. Talked about he'd accepted a head coaching job at East Carolina, went through the introductory press conference, and then thought about it and changed his mind. He said, it happens to everybody. So Coach handled it well and welcomed her back.
And she's an important piece of what NC State does. I mean, she's a utility player who does so many things for this team and this program. And you mentioned it coming off a season-high 22, where she was aggressive with the basketball in her hands. And I think Jada Boyd has to get a little bit more aggressive offensively in this second half.
He was the co-6th player of the year in the conference last season. Before that Virginia game, Boyd had really been struggling with her shot. Kelly elevates so quickly. Stops on a dime and just pops it.
Yeah, she really does. And she does such a good job of changing speeds when she's attacking and getting up. You mentioned it so quickly. And see how stagnant NC State is right now in the half court offensively. Give credit to the Tar Heels. They slowed down the transition and forced them to execute.
Boyd hesitated and then took the three, and now Zelaya and Hobby got tied up on the rebound. And the fans here are going to be really cranky because they called Hobby for the foul.
Well, Hobby hooked her the first time, and then Zelaya just attempting to get out.
A little hesitation. Anya Poole working hard, trying to get something. Shot clock in single digits. McPherson gonna make something happen. Charged. Her second personal foul.
Offensive foul. Target number 13, McPherson. Her second.
Now, there was a little breakdown in the screen and roll because Jada Boyd wasn't there on the ice, but River Baldwin, the second time tonight, she's taken a charge.
Molly Forsberg, Joseph Vasily, and Rod Creech, an Indiana guy.
An Indiana guy, yeah.
Our officials tonight. Jada Boyd. Kelly wisely lets it go out of bounds.
So early in the ball game, NC State aggressive to the rim, got some easy scores, turned it up on the defensive end, got out in transition. Things much more difficult already early in the second half.
They've only scored 1 point in the first 4 minutes of this quarter. Williams knocked away by Rivers. Kelly recovered. I'll tell you what, Alexandra Zelaya is not afraid to pull it out from out there, is she?
Well, this is one of those opportunities, again, when you talk about building depth. So the game plan is to force Deja Kelly to get rid of the ball. Everyone else for Carolina has to step up, and they've been doing it.
Yeah, they have to be willing, right, to take those shots. Biggest lead of the game for the Heels. Kelly again. Rebound by Brown Turner to take it out of Poole's hand. NC State looking for its first field goal of the quarter. They have 1 point. Boyd again. Much needed 3.
Anya Poole is obviously daring Jada Boyd to take that outside shot. She steps up and knocks it down.
Poole taking it into the teeth of the defense, and right now River Baldwin trying to draw another charge. They didn't buy it that time. Oh my, Boyd was left open, but Rivers, and she knows it, not a terrific pass. Carolina up 6.
Carolina come back out with a little bit more energy offensively in this second half. Alexandra Zelaya knocking the corner 3 down. I think the pitch likes that.
Welcome back to Raleigh. There's some North Carolina fans who have made the trip. Right now, their team up 39-33. Charlie Cream has 8 ACC teams in. Syracuse on the bubble. They lost earlier today. Duke lost to Virginia Tech by a wide margin after they had really handled Virginia Tech and Durham the first time they played. And there you see the teams with 5 or more wins against the top 25. The first 4, Charlie all has a #1 seed, and look who the 5th team is.
Absolutely, and Courtney Banghart's team and this program, you could see it 2 years ago when Deja Kelly, Kennedy Todd Williams, and Alyssa Usby were freshmen, that it was just a matter of time before this group came together. Now they've been hit with some adversity, but they've still found ways to move through it. It's been a little bit of up and down. They're going to get healthy, they're going to get players back, and they're going to make a push in the NCAA tournament.
Right now, Charlie Cream has them as a 4 seed, number 15 overall. ACC tournament coming up in a couple of weeks in Greensboro. Rivers directing traffic as the shot clock gets skinny. And a foul called with 6 seconds left on the shot clock on Zelaya. That is her first. No team in ACC women's basketball history has won the regular season title with more than 3 losses. And right now, Duke has 3 losses atop the standings. Notre Dame and Louisville locked up in overtime. Zelaya, nothing but air. It's going to be a very interesting finish of the season. We will be in Blacksburg for this NC State Virginia Tech game on ESPN2 Sunday afternoon. Liz Kitley with a double-double. Georgia Amor, also with 20 points. Baldwin, terrific Rivers feed.
That was just outstanding execution by NC State. They have struggled in this third quarter offensively. Maybe this is what they need to get them going.
Meanwhile, Carolina's gone over 2 minutes without a point. Todd Williams forcing it. And the outside shot nailed by Adams.
Again, Destiny Adams, 2 for 3 from the three-point line in key moments in the first matchup, and that was another big shot.
Kelly tried to draw the charge, and now Todd Williams in one of the only leak outs. She missed the shot, but then River Baldwin fumbled the rebound.
Well, this is a great job of getting out in transition, and Kennedy Todd Williams, you could tell right away she wanted that one back. She was in shock, and River Baldwin not able to come up with the board.
How about 2 not top 10 players in the same play? Kelly, good defense there by Hayes. Shot clock. No shot because Kelly lost it. Now Rivers' turn on the break. For Sanaya. And an answer for Todd Williams.
You could tell she wanted that one. I mean, that was a big shot. Quiet the crowd.
Seven-point advantage inside 2 minutes to go in this third quarter between these 2 old rivals. Travel. And speaking of a big shot, Olivia Miles just hit a shot to give Notre Dame an overtime win over Louisville. Here's this big shot.
Well, just so good in transition, and Sanaya Rivers knows that McPherson's coming to try to strip it. And then on the other end, the answer by Kennedy Todd Williams. And again, I go back to the first time these two teams met, they shot in the 20% for most of the ball game. Carolina found it in the fourth quarter. That's not the case tonight. Both teams knocking down shots and big ones.
Courtney Banghart knew that it would be like this, even though, again, NC State having a tough stretch. McPherson blocked by Rivers. Adams couldn't follow. Sanaya Rivers lost the ball, but it's off North Carolina. Very frantic pace now.
What a defensive play by Sanaya Rivers. Oh, might have gotten away with the foul right there. Not might have, she did.
Yeah, she's got her on. A physical game. And all the officials in red shirts and the crowd are exasperated. Amy Collins tapped away momentarily.
You expect it to get a little chippy in a rivalry game, don't you?
Absolutely, especially when these two teams play more bodies. They're going to get Collins for knocking down Kelly, the first for her.
I'm not really sure why they're booing. She fouled her.
Well, they're booing because they're
fans. That's right. That's right.
But seeing things through not rose-colored glasses, but red-colored glasses, certainly.
Right.
There's the freshman Paris back in the game. Todd Williams will step back over Collins. Adams, good play to tie her up. And the possession arrow gives the ball to the heels. That's the student section.
Which is awesome. I don't know why Mimi Collins put the ball on the floor. She didn't need to. That gave Destiny Adams an opportunity to get in there and get her hands on the ball.
The officials are going to take a look at that last play, called a tie-up. Back in a minute. We are back in Raleigh, where the officials have decided that last play was exactly what we thought it was. It was a tie-up.
I'm not really sure what they went to the monitor for, unless they wanted to see if there was something extracurricular. I mean, it was a tie-up, the ball was on the floor, and that was just a basketball play, bodies and momentum, you know, falling down. So I'm not sure why go into the monitor over that, other than it was starting to get a little chippy and they want to make sure that nothing extra happened.
And they also are looking right now to see if Kennedy Todd Williams' last three-point shot was a 3 and not a 2. So another further delay.
Hey, wait a minute, look back there.
30 seconds to go in the third quarter. There's Mai Forsberg, and then they also have to make sure the clock is correct.
And it was a three-point shot.
So here we go, inside 30 seconds. Sanaya Rivers fouled by McPherson as she went for the basketball, and that is now 3 personal fouls on Kayla McPherson. McPherson again, 808 days between games, the reigning ACC Rookie of the Week, thanks to her brilliant performance, 22 points against Boston College, and Coach Banghart wisely takes her out to finish the quarter. Well, check that. That was Paulina Paris called for the foul. McPherson could take a breath. Pardon me. That foul was on Paris, not McPherson, so McPherson still with a couple. And now State holding it for the final shot. At least that's the plan. Maddie Hayes off the rim. And North Carolina outscoring NC State 14-8 in that quarter. The Heels up 7 as we go to the final 10 minutes. Welcome back to ACC Network Basketball presented by Ally. It's a rivalry game and quite a good one going on here. Alyssa Usby still injured, not playing for the Heels, but they are winning this game. Pam Ward along with Stephanie White. And boy, what a night it has been already, Steph. Duke losing to Virginia Tech. Notre Dame got an Olivia Miles shot in overtime to take out Louisville. So those 2 3-loss teams atop the standings, but Duke beat Notre Dame in their only regular season matchup, so they're sitting on the tiebreak.
Well, and so important when you think about the double bye for the ACC tournament, playing for that, playing for seeding in the NCAA tournament as well.
Getting into that top 4. Amy Collins starts things off well in the 4th quarter. Her second bucket of the night.
This is a team in NC State that we have seen throughout the year execute really well out of a timeout, but struggle when the game progresses in the half court offensively. So that's something about when Wes Moore's in the timeout, locking them in, making sure they understand what they're trying to get, and a growth edge for this team to continue to know what that is when you're in live action.
Deja Kelly coming in to yank the rebound away, and then the tie-up.
She was calling timeout as she was down on the ground.
Courtney Banghart equally surprised by that. NC State in that 3rd quarter, just 3 of 12 from the floor, 25%. Outscored by 6.
Where they were so good in the first half was getting out in transition. And they were not able to do that in the 3rd quarter. North Carolina came out and really locked up transition defense.
They've only had 4 fast break points in the second half. And Diamond Johnson has been a non-factor, just 1 of 8 from the floor, has not even taken a shot in the second half.
And really for NC State to be successful, Diamond Johnson has to be a double-figure scorer.
Yeah. Playing on that bum ankle. Kelly, oh my, how'd that go in?
What a shot by Deja Kelly. Well, I think she got fouled too, Pam.
12 points for her. Here's Diamond.
Let's see how stagnant offensively. Not a lot of movement, ball movement, player movement. It's sticking in players' hands.
James trying to force things. Shot clock again. And with 1.5 seconds left on that clock, Madison Hayes drew a foul.
Deja Kelly just does such a good job of getting in the teeth of the defense and able to finish at the rim. You know, typically you see Deja Kelly with that little pull-up when she gets in there. That was a tough finish.
ACC Unity Week tips off Saturday with the men's doubleheader on the ACC Network. Pitt and Virginia Tech at 5 Eastern. Follow that with Clemson at Louisville. All that on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Maddie Hayes missed them both. Paris. Diamond Johnson, nice bounce pass into Boyd. And another foul. It's 3 on Harris. As Kayla McPherson comes back in. McPherson, 6 points. Has not hit a 3 today, 0 for 4 from distance. Getting her second straight start. Rookie of the week in the ACC. Here's Boyd.
It's 3 missed free throws in a row.
As a team, 5 of 11 from the line.
And when you are a team that struggles to score, you've got to be able to make your layups and your free throws.
Boyd, 1 out of 2, has 5 points on the evening. 6-point advantage. McPherson, I think, is the fastest person in this building, probably. Crashed into the basket support, but I think she's okay. It's well padded. Right? That's
It is. It's well padded, yes.
Thank goodness. But look how fast she is.
You're absolutely right. She is. And she gets by 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders.
Every Thursday at 10 Eastern, right after a women's basketball doubleheader, like tonight, the Nothing But Net crew breaks down everything in ACC women's basketball on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Kelsey Riggs, Muffet McGraw, Kelly Gramlich, and Lexi Brown in the studio tonight. Wonder how Muffet's doing after the Notre Dame-Louisville game. So we'll get some great stuff from them. Duke beaten by Virginia Tech. Lots to look forward to on Nothing But Net.
And that was Jakia Brown-Turner's first field goal attempt of the second half. You know, between her and Isaiah James, I mean, they scored for this team, 15 points between them in the first half, and that was the first field goal attempt for either one in the second half.
A couple of years ago, Jakia Brown-Turner was a unanimous first-team All-ACC performer, honorable mention of All-American, averaging 13.5 points per game, and the scoring has gone south for her ever since. Boyd voicing her frustration. It has been a physical game, something to be expected with these rivals. NC State able to set up some full court pressure. Got away from Paris. James. A little off balance, but Mimi Collins saves the day. Paris answers. That's a floater by Diamond Johnson. That is her first shot of the second half. Definitely not the player we're used to. So talk about explosive, right? McPherson and Johnson, similar in that respect, but Johnson playing on that bad right foot. She's certainly not the player that we have seen for the last couple of years.
No, she's not, and you know, certainly hobbled by that ankle injury and hasn't quite gotten back to, and won't until the offseason, to 100%. But North Carolina has done a really good job in the second half defensively of making things much more difficult. And what happens to NC State when it's not easy is they all start trying to do it themselves. The ball stops moving. It's one-on-one. It's over-dribbling. It's trying to make something out of nothing instead of letting the offense work.
Nice. Deja Kelly off the bounce. 10-point lead, biggest of the night for Carolina. And Westmore has seen enough. And he and Sanaya Rivers are having a conversation as we go to break. ACC Network Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Carter Finley Stadium, that's where they play football at NC State, and they have turned it into a hockey arena Washington going to play Carolina on Saturday. And there's Dave Doran, who is the football coach. They've taken over your field coach. And then on the big weekend, Carolina, NC State men on Sunday. And then club hockey, there's Kevin Keats, the men's basketball coach. North Carolina, NC State club hockey teams get to play at Carter Finley outside.
That is so cool. What a weekend.
Oh, man. Great stuff going on. But you know, it was like 80 degrees here today. Yes, it was nice. Going to cool off a little bit over the weekend for hockey. Great second and third efforts by Boyd, but you see the frustration. At least you'll get a chance to shoot free throws. Fouled by Zelaya. Boyd, 2 of 4 from the line tonight. A week from tonight, another Thursday night women's basketball doubleheader as Miami takes on Louisville at 6 Eastern, and then Duke hosting NC State right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Boyd delivering at the line. McPherson was a McDonald's All-American, a big-time recruit coming back from a couple of separate leg injuries. Shot clock, 5. McPherson with the turnover. The 11th turnover of the game for North Carolina. This NC State offense has really struggled. Just 15 points in the second half.
And when they're forced to play in the half court, they have a hard time generating offense. And you can see the ball just sticks.
Good defense. Zelaya got a piece of that Collins shot.
It's an NC State team that in the past are used to seeing multiple players touch the ball that really gets moving. And Wes Moore talked about that, the fact that, you know, they have games where it just doesn't move and they can't knock down shots. And it's hard to knock down shots if you're trying to generate it all on your own.
Crowd certainly trying to get State back into the game as we hit 5 minutes left in the fourth. JBT. Collins, terrific rebound, and then she got fouled again. Mimi Collins has given them some good minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, she has, and that was a great find on the backside. Shot didn't go in, but extra effort on the offensive glass.
Foul charge to number 0, Alexander Zelaya, her third, 4th on the team.
Collins, a redshirt junior from Waldorf, Maryland.
Collins on the line.
The first trip to the line this evening. Now some pressure. Rivers stole it. Took it all the way to the basket. Offensive rebound. And another tie-up.
Sinai Rivers is just so good at anticipating those passes and getting a hand on the ball, but NC State just not able to convert.
Freshman Paris with the inbound. Kelly easily got it over the timeline.
They're going to keep coming at her.
Johnson, here's a 3-on-1. Rivers couldn't handle it, but was able at least to pull it back out. Long 3, just tipped the rim. Tough night for Johnson. Harris decided to attack the basket and was fouled. maybe Coach White, the smart thing to do, the more preferable thing to do, maybe pull it out, take some time, but she went for it.
She sure did, and she did a really good job right there of splitting the D. No, Paris, another one of those players who's gotten a lot of minutes because of these injuries, and you can see the confidence that she plays with, but nobody stopped her in transition.
Into double figures now. Paris was the ACC Rookie of the Week a couple of weeks ago. McPherson last week. Carolina the only team in the ACC with 2 separate people as Rookies of the Week. NC State has missed 10 of its last 11 shots. That one went in for Boyd.
A good screen by Jakia Brown-Turner gives Jada Boyd just enough time. Power dribble, finish on the other side. And also the opportunities at the foul line allow NC State to continue to set this pressure.
First foul on Adams, but Mimi Collins does it again. Another hustle play. Into Boyd, waited patiently. And converted. Six-point lead. Kelly found a little bit of space, and that little quiet would have become a very loud arena.
The patience, the poise. NC State made their run. They scored. Courtney Banghart not panicking on the sideline. Deja Kelly knows, give me the ball. I'll get to my spots and knock down the shot.
Collins nailed it.
What a second half for Mimi Collins.
It's only her 9th 3 of the season. A 10-point lead has been sliced in half.
Tar Heels going to stay with this middle screen right here for Deja Kelly. Yes, you got to get up. Got to force her to use it.
Kelly with the ball fake, then Rivers with the block, and now Sanaya Rivers is shaken up.
Sanaya Rivers' ability to get back in plays. She was beat on the on-ball screen, but uses her length, is able to get the hand on the ball. That is a terrific individual defensive effort.
So it was North Carolina that had the come from behind win when they played in Carmichael last month. NC State trying to flip the script tonight. A lot of contact. No foul called on the shot, but they got one on the rebound. Fourth foul on Zelaya. Anya Poole comes in for her. Isaiah James' turn to go to the line, her first trip. There you see in the last 9 meetings, State have won 5 of them, but very, very close. And again, Carolina needed a big fourth quarter to come from behind to win on their home floor. a month ago. Williams got them both. The one possession game. Harris, the rookie does it again.
How good has Paulina Paris been? Courtney Banghart calls her number and she goes to work.
But then the answer. By Brown Turner with the three, and it's a 2-point game. Brown Turner's first points of the second half. Cool. Blocked by Collins. Follow good. Poole stuck with it. With 1:06 to go. Huge turnover. NC State down by 10. Able to come back.
The decision in the last few minutes of this ball game by Courtney Banghart to go with the 3 ball handlers on the floor. Paris, Deja Kelly, and Kayla McPherson has been big. They've been able to break the pressure. They've made great decisions to bring it back and execute it in the half court.
On the team.
Fourth one on Brown Turner. Next one will put Carolina in the bonus. Right now, NC State needs a stop. McPherson getting it inside. Collins with the board. Brown Turner for 3. Two huge threes for Brown Turner. 1-point game. NC State's not fouling. They finally do. You think a few seconds too late?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a 1-point ball game. You're not getting it back. What a big shot. 2 big threes by Jakia Brown Turner. Heads up play. Able to catch it, corral it, and knock down a huge shot. And again, that's where you have to know. You're still down 1. You want to get as much time left as possible. You got to get this rebound. You've got to secure the board right here off of the free throw, and then Westmore wants the timeout to advance.
So McPherson, 1 out of 2 on that trip. What a finish. We'll take a very quick timeout. Welcome back. Sold out Reynolds Coliseum, and what a show. North Carolina led this game by 10 here in the fourth quarter. And now NC State only down 2. There you see the reset. Possession arrow in favor of Carolina. Plenty of timeouts. Possession arrow in favor of NC State. Well, what do we got here, Steph?
Well, NC State has been really good after timeout execution. They've run a couple of diagonal screeners. They've gotten Jada Boyd some touches inside. I think right now with how hot Jakia Brown Turner is, you run a diagonal screen for Jada Boyd to come to the block and run a secondary screen for Jakia Brown Turner to come up top. They've been able to get scores off of that, and you put pressure on the defense because they're in the penalty. And the way they've gotten back in this ball game is from the free throw line.
Amy Collins, 8 points in the fourth. Boyd with 7, Brown Turner with 6. And it's NC State basketball. Here we go. A 2 to tie, a 3 to take the lead. Hammer. James ties it. Carolina with the basketball. And a timeout taken with just over 9 seconds left.
Well, what a take by Isaiah James. No hesitation, she rips and goes, and that's a strong finish. And she had Jakia Brown-Turner on the backside in the corner, but great take, puts pressure on the defense. You get to, or you get to the foul line, and they got the easy two. And at that point, North Carolina had started to bring the ball up the floor, so unless Courtney Banghart takes another timeout, they're not able to advance it.
The NC State in this quarter has scored 25 points. They scored 29 in the first half, just 8 in the third quarter. But it's a terrific comeback for a team that was down 10. It was 55-45 at one point. Outscoring them 17-7 here to tie it up. Take a look again at the reset. Westmore and Courtney Banghart trying to come up with something.
And Pam, NC State in this fourth quarter have one less assist than they had the entire 3 quarters prior. Sharing the basketball, getting the best shot on the floor is what allowed them to get back in this ball game.
The freshman Paris inbounds from in front of the Wolfpack bench. Here's McPherson, the fastest player on the court. It's taken away by James. Her miss. Sanaya Rivers couldn't handle it. It's North Carolina basketball. James just beside herself for not being able to convert after the steal.
What a defensive play. Isaiah James gets a hand on the ball, and great hustle by Deja Kelly to get a fingertip on it. I mean, that is a terrific hustle play by Kelly to get back in the play, and just enough of a deflection on that shot. The Carolina right now advancing the ball. 0.7, you've got time. Quick catch and shoot.
Now the officiating crew going to go over and I would imagine make sure that the clock is exactly where it should be. At with 0.7 seconds, you do have time for a catch and shoot. But you're right, Deja Kelly, great hustle play. First off, terrific steal by James. And then Kelly to hustle, got a piece of it, didn't foul her.
Yes.
It's been after kind of a so-so first 3 quarters, this has been a great fourth quarter.
Sure has. Sold out crowd, everybody's still in the stands. .5 is what they're putting back on the clock.
That is a significant difference.
It absolutely is. You would have to imagine that Deja Kelly is going to get the ball in her hands in some way, shape, or form.
Kelly with 16 points leads all scorers. There's Deja, made a great defensive play to stop the breakaway layup. Harris inbounds. Too tall for Key. .9 seconds left. And now a timeout taken by Wes Moore. The official's going to take another look to make sure the clock is correct. Well, the first couple of options weren't there.
No, they weren't there, and you had the lob option just a little too much for Key. She did get a hand on it, so it did allow the clock to run. See the tip, and looks like they'll probably be adding some time left. So if you're Wes Moore right now, I mean, heck, that rip and go quick by Isaiah James was really good and fast.
So 1.2 seconds left, just 0.3 of a second lost on that inbounds play. See Paulina Perez saying to her teammates, no fouls. Both teams in the bonus. Kia Brown-Turner with the inbound, but first, Courtney Banghart calls a timeout for North Carolina. And that is their final timeout.
The chess match, I love it. Courtney Banghart wanted to see what is the set that Wes Moore has NC State in. Of course, these coaches have done their scouting reports. They understand the tendencies. I like the idea of having Alexandria Zelaya on the ball, have a bigger target, make them take a little bit more time, maybe get a deflection on the inbound pass.
NC State trying to go above 500 in the league with a win, and what a win it would be after being down double digits in this quarter.
Now they switch defensively. What they're going to do, have the bigs low, the guards high. I would anticipate them switching all of this.
Brown-Turner into the key. Rivers couldn't hang on to it. And we are going to overtime. It will be the first overtime game for both teams this season. So bonus basketball coming your way from Raleigh in this terrific rivalry. We'll be back with the extra period. Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina, where NC State outscored Carolina 25-18 in the fourth quarter. At 1 point down by 10, they hit 6 of their last 8 shots. And we are going to overtime. Pam Ward along with Stephanie White, referencing something Coach Banghart said
a year ago.
They're not going to let that go ever.
They're not going to let it go.
It's a wonderful gym. I mean, they've done a great job with the renovation. So much history here. Great K-Yow, Jim Valvano, history of NC State basketball, and we're going to overtime between these two teams. Again, Carolina came from behind in the fourth quarter to win in Chapel Hill about 4 weeks ago. And here we go again.
Expect nothing less, right, in a rivalry game?
Yeah. It's the way it should be between these two, but what a great fourth quarter for the Pack. And they look like they were done. NC State gets the basketball first. They have 4 players in double figures, 3 in double figures for Carolina, led by Deja Kelly, 16, JBT. Brown-Turner with 15, including 2 ginormous threes in the fourth quarter.
2 big threes by Brown Turner. Mimi Collins was terrific in the fourth quarter as well.
On both sides of the ball.
Yes.
James forcing one up, and it went in somehow.
Isaiah James was quiet in the second half until the end of the ball game and hit a big bucket, and that was another big one right there.
There's Kelly, there's Kennedy Todd Williams, bottled up by Boyd. Shot clock winding down, Kelly off the back rim. Rivers with another big board. Brown Turner.
Are you kidding me? Shakia Brown Turner with 18 huge threes. Damn, there was no hesitation. Step back, she knew she was taking that.
Confidence is back for her. Todd Williams too strong. And now NC State with the ball up 5. Force that one.
I mean, Isaiah James just between multiple defenders knocks down the tough shot, and then Shakia Brown Turner, the switch was late, steps up and knocks it down.
Last 3 games before this one, 0 for 6 from distance for James. She's got 3 of them today, 2 late in regulation, and then the 1 here in overtime. Shot clock single digits again. Kelly desperately looking for someone, and there's nobody there to rebound it except the Pack. 22-7 run for NC State since they fell behind by 10. ABT, why not? That one was a little short. McPherson grabbing onto her calf after the rebound. And again, Kayla McPherson has dealt with a couple of leg injuries. Alyssa Usby and Eva Hodgson, 2 of the starters who are out. Pearson injured her knee in high school, had to redshirt last year, missed the first 20 games of this season with an unrelated injury. I hope it's a cramp, right?
Yeah, you hope it's just a cramp. Drive by James. You can see it looks like she starts right there. She was able to get up and get that rebound and come down with it.
McPherson now on the bench.
And that's big between her and Deja Kelly. They were able to break this NC State pressure. So now one primary ball handler in Deja Kelly.
Destiny Adams came in for McPherson. They got to hurry, they threw it away. So they lose the extra ball handler, and it turns into 2 points for James. Under 2 to go. Kelly hit North Carolina has not scored in this overtime.
Well, this is just terrific defensive effort. Isaiah James and splits the defenders. A little bit of flair right there, but then comes back on the other end and fouls a jump shooter in Deja Kelly.
And Deja Kelly misses the first free throw. Missed them both. Kelly gets to the line a lot, almost 7 times a game on average. That was her first trip tonight, and she missed them both. And now the clock is NC State's best friend. Outscoring Carolina 7-0 in this overtime. Rivers charges with just over 2 seconds left on the shot clock, just her second.
The challenge when you're trying to milk the clock right here is to not get stagnant and not have to just go one-on-one. Westmore wanted the on-ball screen. Rivers wasn't able to use it, didn't like the spacing, and then the turnover.
Now some pressure to take some more time off the clock. Kelly saw a little bit of an opening and charged in there, but it's called a block.
Well, Jakia Brown-Turner was in the restricted area, so it wasn't even close. And the ball started outside the lower defensive box. Brown-Turner was late, was in the restricted area. And they may have called Isaiah James. I'm not sure which one they called it on. They could have their pick. Yes, Jakia Brown-Turner.
And that is her 5th. So Brown-Turner has fouled out of this ball game. But what a 4th quarter and overtime period for her. With 3 huge threes. Kelly right back to the line. North Carolina's first point of the overtime. Now for Kelly. James, as we go under a minute to go, and a foul called. Destiny Adams thought she had a clean steal. Adams' second foul.
Isaiah James is looking to attack, and it looks like she got her arm on that call. Destiny Adams doesn't like it, but again, you go back to the challenge for NC State is to still get some kind of movement while you're trying to utilize the clock.
James, 1 out of 2.
And if you're Carolina, you want to keep putting pressure on this defense, keep attacking the rim. You're getting opportunities at the foul line.
Well, Kelly left it well short. It's called NC State ball. The Pack with a big overtime so far. We'll take a timeout. They're up 6. Welcome back. Just under 51 seconds left to go in overtime. NC State outscoring Carolina 8-2. in this overtime. Let's look at Isaiah James.
Isaiah James was just terrific, particularly early in the first half, and then at the end of the ball game, misses the layup. Well, it got deflected, and then comes out, and what does she do? She goes right to the rim. She gets a score, and these are two tough buckets that she gets, and you can see the confidence, the excitement, the lift that she has given this team. 15 points on the night for Isaiah James.
Isaiah James 15, just 3 behind Jakia Brown-Turner, who hit some big threes late herself. She has fouled out. But again, this is an NC State team that was down by 10. And then outscored Carolina 25-18 in the fourth, and they have owned this overtime. There's JBT. Big finish. And the ball still belongs to NC State. Both teams in the bonus. If they get it in, you can expect a foul, but there's the touchdown pass, and James has capped it off. Kelly. McPherson. 2 straight air balls. Kelly with the grab. And a sold out Reynolds Coliseum. They're feeling it, Steph.
They should be feeling it. The effort by this ball club, particularly in the fourth quarter and overtime. And what a pass by Madison Hayes. And Isaiah James says, I'm not even going to take a chance on this one. I mean, the effort, the execution in the fourth quarter and overtime by this Wolfpack ball club has been tremendous. And keep in mind, they're doing this without the services of Diamond Johnson, who has really, for all intents and purposes, been irrelevant tonight.
Really limited with the leg. And the NC State Wolfpack make another trip to the foul line. But what a win this will be. Charlie Cream has them as a 7 seed, says he will elevate them to a 6 seed with this win. They were down 10 with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the game. Nobody left the building. Probably very few people thought that they had a chance. Since then, they have outscored North Carolina by 21 points.
And this is a team who played a tough schedule. Their net is at 17. They've been up and down. They're out of the top 25 for the first time since 2018. They could very easily, when they were down 10, have folded, and they didn't. Backwards against the wall, they came to play. They stepped up to the challenge.
Harris finally gets the first field goal of the overtime for Carolina. But North Carolina, Adams fouls again, is going to fall to 9-6 in the league. The Pack will go to 8-7. Boy, what a night it has been in the ACC. Duke, after beating Virginia Tech handily at home, lost by a rather large margin in Blacksburg today. Notre Dame needed a miracle shot by Olivia Miles to beat Louisville in overtime. Can you imagine what the tournament's going to be like?
It's going to be so much fun. And how fitting that Isaiah James is at the line right now. She has been terrific down the stretch and in overtime.
And then she got the rebound. There's going to be some happy people on Hillsborough Street tonight. What a fourth quarter, well, the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter in overtime for the Pack.
outstanding effort. Back was against the wall. They stepped up to the challenge and got a big win.
So NC State outscoring Carolina by 11 in the overtime. Take it. For Stephanie White, the rest of our great crew here in Raleigh, I'm Pam Ward, as we say so long, but there's so much more to come as we go back to the studio. Lexi, Muffet, Kelly, and Kelsey.
Let's talk a little bit about what we just saw, a back and forth battle. We had 2 games go into overtime tonight, and including this one that we just saw right here on ACC Network. NC State, North Carolina going head to head. NC State coming off a loss, trying to get back on track, but North Carolina looked good early. So good to see Kayla McPherson playing the way she is, Coach.
She really is playing well for a freshman. I mean, she's just still so excited because she's not been playing that long. Everybody else has got February blues, but not her. She's happy to be out there.
Pull-up jumper for her. North Carolina up 34-29. Then fourth quarter, Deja Kelly, the floater. North Carolina building on that lead. Then more Deja Kelly, Lexi.
She really is the heart and soul of this UNC team. I think she did everything she could to keep this UNC team in this game.
She did. She was battling, but so was Jakia Brown-Turner. Kelly, we've been saying we want to see more from her. We got it tonight.
This was her breakout game for NC State, and Jakia Brown-Turner has to play like this the rest of the year, hit some massive threes.
NC State pulls within 2, but not done and out of it yet. 30 seconds left. Jakia Brown-Turner knocks down another one. NC State only down by 1, so 17 seconds left. Wasn't just her that was battling for NC State. How about what we saw, Coach, from Isaiah James?
What a great game. She had such a strong finish, ties the game. I never thought they would go to her at the finish, and she really delivered.
That tied it at 62, but then Isaiah James comes up with the steal, goes down for the game-winning layup. That one stings because she's not able to make the bucket, so we are headed to overtime, knotted at 62 apiece. Then, opening seconds of overtime. Isaiah James trying to let that one go. She's done some great things already. A little more magic coming. Gets the floater to fall through contact. NC State up, and then Jakia Brown-Turner. Another 3. NC State up 67-62 and not done yet. Woo! You see the sign. Welcome back to our small gym. You knew the fans were going to bring it.
That almost
NC
looks like
State
it was
brought it
a
as well.
Valentine's Day card.
It did. 77-66, the final score in this one, as the Wolfpack could get a win at home over a top 20 North Carolina team. And Jakia Brown-Turner was a big part of it. Had a season tying 18 points in this one. Jakia, congratulations first and foremost for you guys to fight the way you did down the stretch. I know you would have loved to be in there after fouling out, but what does this one mean?
Thank you, thank you.
What's it mean, Jakia, for you guys to get this win over North Carolina at home?
It means so much to us. You know, we fell short at their place, and we knew that we needed to get this win, especially at home in front of our home crowd. So it was a great win, and we were locked in.
Jakia, I don't know if you saw the sign, welcome to our small gym. Did the fans know about the controversy going on, the things that Courtney Banghart had said about your fans?
Yes, they definitely do. They handed out a whole bunch of T-shirts that said that yesterday. So a lot of our fans had it on today, and I saw a whole bunch of signs. So we don't worry about that. We're just happy we have fans here.
Jakia, I feel like tonight was your breakout game in many ways. You played free, you played confident. What do you think enabled you to do that tonight?
Just my teammates having confidence in me and just telling me to keep shooting, and my coaches having confidence in me, just telling me to play hard and do the little things, and doing the little things creates offense.
What was one of the main things that your coach told you to focus on to get this W tonight?
He just told me to focus on the little things, like playing hard on defense, rebounding, and my shot's going to come, and my teammates are going to look for me. And we just played together. I was open, and I knocked it down.
Jakia, you guys, you get a big win, but you got a tough stretch coming up. 2 big road games at Virginia Tech and at Duke before you close the season at home with Pitt. What's the mindset got to be like of this team to come out and finish strong in the regular season?
Yes, definitely. These next 2 games are definitely going to be difficult, and we're going to be ready to play. This game definitely helped us get ready, and we're able to build momentum, so we're going to be ready.
Jakia, 18 points and 4 rebounds in this one. Congratulations on the win, and enjoy this one with your team.
Thank you so much.
Good stuff there from Jakia Brown-Turner, and I loved your point there to her about you felt like it was kind of a breakout game for her to see her step up and the way she did. Kelly, if she's able to do that consistently, what does that do for NC State?
Well, it can help NC State be the team we thought they could be. Because Jakia Brown-Turner was so good last year, yes, she was in more of a supporting role because they had all those seniors on that team. But she scored very consistently. She shot the 3 really well. And tonight, the 3-pointer was huge for NC State and huge for Jakia Brown-Turner. That clutch gene. Remember, Jakia Brown-Turner hit that big 3 against UConn to send it to overtime. She has a clutch gene, and it really showed up tonight.
4 threes for her in this game with those 18 points. Coach, you also pointed out they did this without seeing a lot of minutes from Diamond Johnson, but we saw Isaiah James really step up.
I think their bench is really playing a big role right now. Diamond Johnson, I think, is their best player, but she's been injured. She's really nursing an ankle injury. She hopefully will be back, but to see what Isaiah James could do, to hit the game winner and the game tying play, that was really big for her.
I think for this NC State team, I think every time they have a good game or a big win, they're like, we needed that. We needed that to move forward and take a step. So I'm hoping moving forward, they can get that, internally, get that from each other, get that energy to get up for games, even if they don't necessarily feel like getting up for those games, to get it from their team and not from, a big win or a good game.
That was a big win, especially after they fell out of the top 25 for the first time since 2018. They come back and knock off a top 20 North Carolina team. So let's talk a little bit about North Carolina. And Coach, it looked like they had it in the bag, but then they kind of fell out of it in the last 4 or 5 minutes. What went wrong for North Carolina?
I would say too many threes. They weren't shooting it well from the perimeter, but they continued to shoot. And I think they were about 4 for 22 from the 3-point line. At that point in the game, you just got to attack the basket, get back to the free throw line, make some free throws, make them foul you, make them guard you.
Well, let's remember, UNC also playing through injuries. I think the name of the game right now is which team can get through their injuries the best to get to the best record at the end and be a top 4. But without Eva Hodgson, who truly is your point guard, I thought UNC struggled against the press late in the game. So many costly turnovers. You don't have your senior in Eva Hodgson to help you to bring the ball up the floor. You're asking a lot from Paulina Paris and Kayla McPherson, who are both freshmen. It was their first visit to the small gym. So that was an issue for them. I thought they missed Hodgson.
Trying to get everybody in trouble.
Right.
I'm just saying, that was what the poster said.
That small gym was tough, and I think that environment really affected them down the stretch.
The fans were awesome.
The fans were awesome. That was a great atmosphere there.